Hello, Barry. It's such a pleasure to talk to you, and it's great to reconnect. Many congratulations for a great DPA Global Summit that you just organized a few days back. And thank you so much for talking to Media for Growth.
Always great to see you, Rajiv. It was a great time. We only missed you, but we did have over 900 other people. But your intelligent, sparkling personality and your wit was missed.
Oh, so kind of you to say that, Barry. Really, I think I'll be there for the next edition for sure. So, Barry, if you can just quickly give a recap of what all happened at the summit, it would be very interesting for us to know.
Let me try to give you a recap. It was 9 hours, but I'll try to scintillate that down to a lot less. But it was a powerful day. We have this wonderful venue. We've been doing it at the past few years. It's on the Hudson River in New York City. Big glass looking out over the Hudson. We had some amazing speakers. We had the head of global marketing from Microsoft, Kathleen Hall, who's just brilliant and smart and runs the whole global business. We had the VP of marketing globally for Adidas or Adidas, depending what part of the world you're in. And she gave an essential master class in media and a master class more aptly in the metaverse. And everybody was really on the edge of the seat, learning so much about what they didn't know, which was kind of how it was most characterized. And we had a whole retail section, and retail media is becoming very powerful in the digital out-of-home world. And we had all of the programmatic leads, the SSPs, the DSPs spoke. It was people from Wolverine. We had the lead folks from Yahoo. Really a great day on marketing, on media, and it continues, Rajiv, to be the largest one-day media marketing event of any around the world each year. So as I mentioned, over 900 people. And as you know, we are, as we educate and we inform, we're also realized to do that effectively, we have to enlighten, inspire, and entertain. So we did have the live Broadway actual cast from Hadestown, which was the Tony Award winning show on Broadway. They did 2 performances at the summit. And then we had some other fun. We had breakfast, lunch, and cocktails on the Hudson. But as you know, we always do an interesting opening. And due to the theme this year, I'll tell you a little bit about it. But maybe I should tell you about the theme this year. Would you want to hear about that?
Yes, of course, Barry.
Sure. So, last year, we caught a nice window right after COVID and before Omicron, and we had almost 700 people there. And in the midst of COVID, the moniker for the summit was all about resilience, reinvention, and reimagination going forward. And we got through that period. Now, as we all know, and I know you, my friends in India, and all of our members in every continent, we had a very difficult time during COVID. And we actually pointed out in the summit that we got bloodied but not battered. And I actually showed a picture on the big screen of me and my face bloodied when I did a face plant jogging outside onto a crooked cement one day. But anyway, COVID was difficult. We got through a lot of ingenuity, through a lot of introductions that DPAA made to media owners and reps. We fast grew the programmatic space. We connected the pipes during COVID, and we got through not easily. So now that we've got through that very difficult period, Vincent Latang, the head of global intelligence at IPG, has talked about how we are the fastest medium to come back after COVID. But given all of that, the theme of this year's conference was digital fast forward. So now that we got through all the pain and all the suffering, now let's put our pedal to the metal and really go fast forward on digital. And that's where we want to continue to take the industry. The business that we do here at DPAA, our mission is to grow the global out-of-home marketplace by growing its digitization. And when we talk about digitization, what we mean is a mindset, a strategy, and a multiplicity of tactics that really focus down on getting all of our business and our infrastructures thinking and acting in a digital fashion. So it was very exciting to kind of have that message proliferate throughout the day. And digital is what's driving us forward. It's helped government, countries, education, finance get to the next level, and the digitization of our medium is what is going to get there. And what I mean by digitization, by the way, is not just screens, but by no means that's a part of it. But what it really is a series of elements and tactics on digital data, programmatic, on retargeting, on targeting, dynamic ad serving, using QR codes. We had some great examples of 3D, which, as you've seen around the world, are beautiful. It's retail media. So all of this is about how we get digital faster and further. And that's my message to the whole global out-of-home and advertising industry is let's get digital fast forward, and that will be our continued success.
Absolutely brilliant, fascinating, and what a lineup of speakers that you had at the summit. So Barry, you've organized so many editions of your summit before. Did you find any particular difference in the way the attendees looked at content this time versus the previous editions?
I must say the reviews have been outstanding. I mean, and I think, look, I think we've got a small team and we work very hard to make this all happen. And we are the connector, the consigliere, the community of this global industry. And people all felt that. It was a one big hug fest. Everybody was so glad to come out, and we promote connection. We all focused not only on IQ, but EQ. And everybody was just so glad to be there. And like I said, listening to the master class on the metaverse, they were on the edge of their seats. Actually, I had the head of marketing globally for Microsoft work with me to give out the first annual DOE Awards, which is Digital Out of Home, DOOH-E,
Yes.
DOE Awards. And we could send you a picture of the DOE trophies. And in coordination with Quotient, one of our great members, Quotient and DPAA announced these awards. We had hundreds of people submitting. We had hundreds of people voting, and we gave out some wonderful awards for purpose-driven campaigns, for programmatic campaigns, for creative campaigns. And it was just great to see everybody extolling. And we had tons of agency folks in the room. We had brands in the room. We had press. We didn't have Rajiv, but we had lots of press in the room. And it was a very exciting day where everybody was just so glad to be there. And then on the in the space where we had all of the setups and kiosks, people were so glad after to have their meals there and cocktails thereafter. It was very inspiring. But take it from other people.
I can well imagine how exciting it would have been, and I really missed it. So Barry, one of the things that I wanted to understand, because we had a fantastic participation from the brand marketers, so some of the best brands that you can think of. And that is indeed very, very important for the OH industry as a whole, because with brand participation comes industry growth. Looking globally, OH is still having only a single-digit share of the overall ad pie. What were the perspectives shared by the brand marketers while they participated in the conference? If you can throw some light on that.
Sure. So some of them are very excited, have been spending in out of home. By the way, we also had Wolverine and CVS retailers and Claire's and others. So for the most part, they were very excited about the digitization of out of home. They felt that fit kind of easier into their plans in some way. A lot of them talked about now spending some of their video, television, satellite, online digital video monies into the industry because they see the value of having video outside the home. They were also, of course, very excited about the programmatic for ease of use. And that, of course, as you know, was our superpower during COVID, where schedules were easily moved from where people were not to where they were. Right. And they also appreciated the dialogue that we have with them in helping them to spend more money with us. They are very frustrated at the decline of cable and satellite around the world. Right. There's also demonstrations and they see that we are a premium environment for brands. They see that we have video ability. They see that it's incredibly brand safe. There's no bot fraud issues, and that we're on the path to purchase, and we're also now at the point of purchase. So a lot of this came through. They've said that more education is needed for their teams. And that's where DPAA spends a lot of time around the world talking to brands as well as holding companies and other agencies, where we help them get educated on the ease of now planning and buying this medium and of the power of the medium. So as an example, and I think you know this, Rajiv, we've had for about 4 years now some major global brand leaders on our brand council that help us understand what they need to do to shift more budgets our way. So there was a lot of positivity in the room, a lot of excitement, and it was almost kind of like a learning, giving and taking and sharing, where everybody's working together to put more of this on the books.
Fantastic. Very, very illuminating, that is, Barry. While the brand marketers would set the expectations, and in fact, those expectations would only grow from here, are the digital out-of-home media owners geared to match those expectations? And what is DPAA doing to help them to scale up and meet those requirements?
Sure. So, certainly we've been the biggest proponents of programmatic, which helps develop scale and ease. Of course, we actually set the original multiplier, which everybody uses. And now what we talked about at the summit was we formed a committee led by R.A. Buchalter at Place Exchange, the SSP, about formalizing and bringing transparency and standardization to the multiplier. So that is helping a lot. We're also working with Prebid to help develop kind of a bit of a, I guess you would say, an SSP of SSPs, or a way that there's, once again, more equal transparency in the trading of the business. We also have our education, as I mentioned, and then we get together with all of these folks all year long. And please join us next year in Cannes. We had at Cannes Lions, I interviewed over 20 heads of agencies, heads of global brands. Then our members got a chance to interact with them in Q&A and really exchange. So mutual growth and understanding is really key. We also have a plethora of research and data members that are now showing actual attribution to the success of out-of-home campaigns. And we realize that not every method of data or research is correct for everybody, but that's why we have a lot of members. And there's been a lot of growth and success, interestingly, at Geopath now as well, which has really providing data for other research partners and showing, where all the boards are, where all the screens are. And it's a nice time, because everything that I mentioned is just fast forward now, which was our theme, fast forward on digital.
Fantastic. Are we going to see this fast forward accelerating the globalization of this medium as well?
Give me that again, I'm sorry.
With this fast forward of digital media, digital out-of-home media, are we also going to see greater globalization of this medium?
Yes, absolutely. And part of the reason, that we are a global force is that digital crosses borders much easily than analog principles.
Absolutely.
So, there's huge, companies, Facebook, Google, they've got, tons of data scientists and engineers and marketing folks and sales folks and content people all over the world. What we found that by DPAA and our community coming together as one, that's how all of our members around the world have the ability to compete in this marketplace by using best practices and the learnings from everybody together. And our membership, as you know, includes media owners and agencies and hardware and software and programmatic and data and research and municipalities. And we all come together to rise all ships. And that's the beauty of the DPAA community. We also had a whole section led by Dan Dawson, who's the head of creative at Talon, where he actually, Talon and Grand Visual, where he spoke about how digital gets so much more and better creative around the world.
Right.
Because
Right.
whether it's utilizing methods from television or from digital online or even 3D, and Dan Dawson of Talent is leading this charge with a DPAA council we built of great creative and advertising leaders. And will you see the names of the folks on this list, some of the real brains that have built many media around the world.
Wonderful. Barry, my final question. It's DPAA Global. When are you going to look at Asia and perhaps India with greater intent? When are you going to have your activities extending to this part of the world where you might find some of the most fastest growing economies like India?
Yes, so as you know, we had big plans, and then some kind of virus went around the world and slowed us up a little bit, and slowed you guys up, as we know. We have members in every continent, and what is happening now is we have a lot of members in India and a lot of members in Asia, and you'll be seeing a big step up in all of that and our activities. And I hope to see you in person in Mumbai or Delhi this year, as we get back to where we were in 19 in really doing this. And like I said, what the beauty of DPAA and the beauty of going digital is that you can really transfer best practices and ideas and strategies and tactics, and they cross borders so easily. And that's been our strength. And I think also because, my team and our own experience comes from not only building media companies, but building and running media companies in every country around the world and all media. So I have overseen TV, print, radio, cable, and all other businesses. And we take that knowledge to help grow this space, which is, as IPG and Magna said, the fastest growing of traditional media to return to 19 levels. And now we're surpassing that.
Fantastic. I think there are great times ahead for everybody in this industry. So let me just wish you the very best. It was amazing talking to you today. And I would say that more power to DPA, more power to you, Barry. And looking forward to your many activities that are coming up, and especially in this part of the world. Thank you so much for your time today.
Rajiv, it is always a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Surely. Done.